into chanting mantras or doing japa. The purpose of Vedas is not to keep you to appreciate, oh, how beautiful these lines of Veda, the Upanishads are. No, it is not for that purpose. The purpose of the Vedas is, the scheme is, when you do the ritual part with the single pointedness of mind, purification happens. In that purified mind, where you surrender everything to the higher, then with that purified mind, you make your mind single pointed. With that single pointed mind, now you contemplate on the Vedantic truths given in the Upanishad. And as a result of that, what happens? The seeker, the sought, and the seeking vanish. This is the scheme. So, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta. So, this Sadachar is not going to deviate to something else. What is being told in Sadachar is the same which is given in the Vedas. Shivam Nirmalam, the self is the subject matter of the Upanishads, is said to be auspicious in the sense that it displays complete absence of the contagion of avidya or ignorance and its effects. Nirmala, mala means impurity. Nirmala means pristine purity. Pristine purity. There is not even a slightest trace of impurity in this Shivam Nirmalam. Shivam, auspicious. Nirmalam, pristine purity. And what is that? That is this Sat, this self. It is most auspicious. Why? It's the altar of all altars. It's the self of all selves. And it is absolutely pure. Purity means that it cannot be objectified. No thought can ever reach it. Then alone it can be absolute pure. Yoginam. Yoginam, who are these aspirants? Who are these yogis? These yogis are who are continuously engaged in a life of realizing this truth, which is Shivam and Nirmalam. See? And such sages, such yogis are engaged in these worldly activities either for gain in this world or in the world beyond. So either they are involved in this, they contemplate on the self in order to gain, because you can't help it. Some people use this knowledge to gain more and more out of the world. And some people want to go beyond the world. Om, A, U, Ma and Bindu. So with the gross world, the subtle world and the causal world, A, U, Ma. So some people chant Om because they want something from one of the three worlds. Or they contemplate on the end of Om. They want to go into the Turiya Avastha, that which is beyond. So for whatever reasons these sages are doing it, are not qualified as fit students for the study of all those aspirants that are actively engaged in worldly activities, either for gain in this world or in the world beyond, as well as a realized sage, are not qualified as fit students for the study of this text. What? Two people are mentioned here. One is a person who's doing this sadhana. Why? I want it to be practical. Swamiji, can we use this Gita? How is it practical in my life? How can I become a better person, a better husband, a better wife, a better citizen? If that is the purpose because for which you are studying this Sadachar, then please, the door is open. They are not qualified. Why? For them, the world is still too important. Self is not important. And the second person who is not qualified to study this scripture is the realized sage. Why? Why is he not qualified?
He has achieved already.
He has already achieved. What is there for him to achieve or understand more? There's nothing for him to achieve anything more. Everything is his expression. He knows he is the substratum. So what is he going to study or not study? So he is also out of the picture. Then who's left? Who is qualified to study this text? So here it says, a person who has become aware of the futility of seeking self-fulfillment in worldly things and is prepared to engage in serious and disciplined inquiry into the self. Such a person is to whom this text is being addressed to. Again I will repeat. Find out whether you fall into that category. You fall into the category of realized sage, or B, you fall into the category where this feels good, it is the right thing to do to come to satsangs, but attention is still on the world. I think I can do japa, I'll concentrate my mind and I'll use that concentrated mind to achieve something more in this world. Name, fame, give lectures here, give lectures there. Be a good person, start social service. I'll share this knowledge, I'll share the stories. This is the second one. Third one is the person who has analyzed that going out into this world or wanting to achieve anything in this world is never going to give any satisfaction. He has come to that point, enough of running after this world. And therefore now he has made a commitment that now I'm going to sit and contemplate on the methodologies of inquiry as given in the Vedantic text. See, if you can stay, you can stay here with me for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, single pointedly, eyes open, not even one word chanted, not maybe a little bit of movement here and there, but no, not much shuffling, totally single pointedly or listening. Are you able to sit by yourself, eyes open, without too much of shuffling, without getting up again and again? Think about one verse for 1.5 hours. Can you? No, Swamiji, we meditate. I am not saying meditate. With eyes open. Are you able to do it? Why?
When we concentrate on one word or whatever it is, so when we keep on concentrating, that disappears.
It disappears.
Yeah.
Are we able to sit for one hour, 1.5 hour, take one verse from any scripture and keep it in our mind to the exclusion of all the thoughts? No writing, no reading, just keep it in your mind and keep thinking about it. Let it reveal itself. Just like the verse you chanted, and because of you, this equipment is revealing a commentary on that verse.